At the end of this week, the US dollar is showing a rise amid yesterday's inflation data from the United States. Today, the US currency is likely to be boosted by the US retail sales report. Let's find out which economic events are due for release early next week. On Monday, Japan will report on its GDP growth rate in the fourth quarter. In fact, the yen seldom reacts to the macroeconomic data from Japan. However, it's greatly influenced by news on the coronavirus. Nevertheless, according to the forecast, Japan's GDP dropped by 0.9% in the fourth quarter. It can be viewed as a signal for the Bank of Japan to think of stimulus measures. The yen usually appreciates amid such news. Tuesday will be full of much more significant economic events. For example, the UK will report on its labour market situation. According to analysts, the number of unemployed people increased in the given period. Besides, the UK claimant count advanced by 22,600. Such figures can lead to the pound sterling depreciation. On Wednesday, the British pound is likely to drop as the UK is expected to publish its inflation data for January. According to the forecast, the UK inflation accelerated to 1.5% on a yearly basis. However, in the previous months, economists had also foreseen the same reading. In fact, the indicator edged up by 1.3. It was the weakest reading since November 2016. It's highly possible that on Wednesday the inflation figures will not meet the forecast. In this case, the pound sterling sell-off is expected. The CPI figures will also be revealed in Canada. Economists expect the same rise in the consumer price index. However, a slowdown to 2.1% is quite possible. On Wednesday, market participants will be mostly focused on the FOMC meeting minutes. The document will hardly provide any new information. Jerome Powell has already revealed all plans of the Federal Open Market Committee. That's why traders' reaction is expected to be rather tepid. Apart from the above-said events, it would be a good idea to take notice of other important reports. On Monday, Bundesbank will publish its monthly report. Also, the economic outlook will be unveiled after the Eurogroup meeting. On Tuesday, the Reserve Bank of Australia is expected to present its monetary policy meeting minutes. Moreover, the ZEF Institute will report on the economic sentiment in Germany and Eurozone. On Wednesday, the US construction sector figures are slated for release. The US producer price data will also be revealed this day. You are watching Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Tikhina. We wish you profitable deals.